Alright everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Jordan Report and I am your host, Robert Jordan. Please like, subscribe, and share. That's very important. Alright, we're going to talk about the black pastor down in Alabama, call him Trump supporters, who people vote for Trump have a mental illness. But this is a great time to go into black people's politics and how the black church affects black people's politics and how our voting habits is a direct reflection of the black church. I got a couple of articles and I'm going to show you the local news of this incident going down in Birmingham, Alabama with this black pastor whose name is Michael Jordan. A black vote for Trump is a mental illness, sign outside black church declares. A sign displayed outside of Birmingham, Alabama Baptist Church has sparked local controversy after it displayed a message that compared voting for Trump to a mental illness. One side, bold letters read, a black vote for Trump is a mental illness. On the other, a white vote for Trump is pure racism. God motivates me to take a stand for what's right, New Era Baptist Church Pastor Michael Jordan told WTMV 13. He's no relation to me. Read the Bible and look in the White House. If they're calling me a racist, look in the White House. Don't know what that means, but black pastors talk like that. When you vote for Donald Trump, you're supporting for institutionalized racism, he said. Later, Jordan, who's African American, added that he intended to send a message to both black and white voters. Jordan is not the only religious leader to express political views in the era of Trump, and some have used their platforms to speak in favor of the president. Robert Jeffries, the senior pastor at the prominent Texas megachurch First Baptist Dallas, has become a staunch supporter of the president and frequently appears on Fox News, Texas Monthly reported. He once called evangelical Christians who do not support Trump spineless morons. The president enjoys high approval ratings from white evangelicals, and these voters have stood by him despite numerous controversies throughout his first term. However, some in Birmingham thought Jordan's message went too far. As WTVM, I'm going to show you that interview on the local news, interviewed Jordan, a couple of bystanders argued with the pastor, including Daxter Kirk, a white supporter who filmed the confrontation on his phone. He told WTVM that you should not be able to come into a building and feel like you're hated. And the outlet reported he had complained to the city council. This isn't the first time that Jordan has used his church signage to speak out. In 2018, after a suburban megachurch planned to open a satellite in Birmingham to combat crime, Jordan erected a sign that read, "Black folks need to stay out of white churches." The sign sparked a social media outrage and it earned a rebuke from Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin. So a white church tried to come in and help them combat crime. I don't know if you guys know this, but Birmingham's crime rate is out of the roof. They have a murder they have a murder rate that's just off the charts. Okay? But he's not worried about that. He's worried about Trump. The IRS requires that a church, charity, or other 503 organization does not participate in or intervene in, including the publishing or distributing of statements, any political campaign on behalf or in opposition to any candidate for political office. Sign or no sign, polls indicate that black Americans consider Trump racist, and black voters have not historically supported him. In July 30, a July 30 Quinnipiac poll found that 80% of black voters say Trump is racist, compared with 11% who do not. 2016, 88% of black voters chose the Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton over Trump, according to the Pew Research Center. Listen to this. Black women in particular are considered one of the most solid bases in the Democratic Party. Exit polls showed that 94% of black women cast a vote for Clinton in 2016. And 4% chose Trump, CNN reported. Who's sitting in church every Sunday? I mean, you may not be able to tell by looking at the black woman, but she goes and sits in church. She's in church. She's listening to this guy. She's listening to Michael Jordan. This is where she takes her politics from, because the black woman doesn't have a man at home for the most part. Usually the man would give the woman her politics. But in the black community, the woman is getting the politics from the preacher. And while Trump overwhelmingly won Alabama in 2016 election with about 63% of the vote, Jefferson County, where Birmingham is located, was an island of blue in the sea of red counties as it broke for Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. This is how they're doing it, people. They do it through the church. The church is a part of it. Without the black preacher, none of this could happen. Now I'm going to show you a clip, and then I'm going to show you the local news clip, and then I'm going to close out with one last article.
Politics collide at a place of worship in southwest Birmingham. Pastor Michael Jordan, yes, not that Michael Jordan, of New Era Baptist Church, criticizing Trump supporters.
As WVTM 13's Bria Douglas shows us, the messages are inciting both blacks and whites.
God motivates me to take a stand for what's right.
It's the reason why Pastor Michael Jordan uses his platform to influence this election season.
Read the Bible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And look in the White House. If they call me a racist, look in the White House.
Pastor Jordan insists President Donald Trump is against anyone who's not white. For this reason, he encourages people to not vote for him.
When you vote for Donald Trump, you are supporting institutionalized racism.
His message, hypocritical, according to African American bystanders.
Do you understand the same thing that scientist said about saying?
Do you know he said that a black vote for Trump is mental illness,
but like
a white vote is racism?
You have broke the law under the Internal Revenue Code.
According to the IRS website, currently the law prohibits political campaign activity by charities and churches by defining a 501c3 organization as one which does not participate in or intervene in, including the publishing or distributing of statements, any political campaign on behalf of or in opposition to any candidate for public office.
That's just about every black church in America. This is what every black preacher is just about 80%, are doing Sunday mornings. This is how they get these high black Democrat turnout rates.
Supporter Daxton Kirk says not only is Pastor Jordan committing a crime, but says he's shaming churchgoers with a difference of opinion.
You should not be able to come into a building and feel like you are hated or diversified just because you came here to worship the Lord.
This is a dual message. This message is not just to white folk. This message is for black folk. It's time for America to see that we've passed all of this. Civil rights movement.
Daxton Kirk also says he's reached out to City Hall and a congresswoman to have something done about the sign. Sherry?
Okay, that's what they're doing, people. But what they're not doing, what these black preachers are not doing, is teaching us thus what said the Lord, man. Okay? His job is not to tell us politics and who to vote for. His job is to stop us from killing our children. 60% of the babies the Alabama abortion ban was saved from abortions are black. This is what's going on in Alabama. Majority of women who obtain abortions in Georgia and Alabama are black, making black women the primary demographic affected by the 2019 abortion legislation, data shows. Black women have never left the church. Most people don't know this. But the church has watched the black woman lose her man, her family, and abort about 20 million black children, as far as I know, which was the last count. But they're not saying that. You know why the black church doesn't say anything about the abortion rate of black women? Because it's a democratic agenda. And the black church is an appendage of the Democratic Party. This is why they should lose their tax exempt status. They have no reason to be claiming to be a church. They're not a church. They promote a democratic agenda. That's who they are. And that's the way they should be treated from this point forward.